Terry Cole with mightyforce.org. Today, I seem to be answering lots of questions about Lightning page layouts. And so I just thought I would do a quick little video about how it's controlled, as well as a couple things that you might want to consider that are different maybe than Classic. So here I am on an opportunity, or it's renamed donation in my org. And you can see the path element here, and it's got a 2-column layout that's relatively straightforward. I'm going to go to the edit page. So this is the Lightning edit page function. And, this is doing something you couldn't do in Classic. And we're going to see that we have components here, and we have this activation button, and it's in the activation button where the magic happens when it comes to showing different page layouts for different people or different apps or different records. And that's the question I've been answering a lot today. So I click the activation button, and I'm not going to go through it, but it turns out I can have a certain page layout for an object set for everything across the whole organization, or for everyone when they're in a certain app. And the app means the collection of tabs. In my organization, we have a few different applications, and I can actually have donations look like a certain thing in the finance app, and donations look like something different in our daily operations app, potentially because one is just interested in who's a donor and who's not, to properly respond to donors who come to our facility, versus the fundraiser who wants a very different view of the donation. So I can control it at the app level, or I can control it the old-fashioned way, I'll call it, the classic way, by a combination of app and record type and profile of the user. So actually, you can have a whole bunch of different views of an object now in Lightning that you never could have in Classic. So that's cool. But I want to dissuade you from immediately jumping that direction. And let me show you why. In Lightning now, we get to do things with every single component. So this is the highlights component, and if I click on it, I can see this, and that's all great. But I could decide I only want the highlights component to show if if some particular thing is true. So maybe once it's posted, I'm just making this up as I go along here, but maybe for some reason when a donation is all posted, we think that so I'm looking for the status of the donation, the stage of the donation. When the stage equals posted, I don't even want to show the path. It's just a waste of real estate, perhaps, we've decided. And so now this element is going to appear or disappear based on the stage of the donation. Record by record, it's going to show me different information. This is really cool. You could never do this in Classic without Visualforce pages, at least. So that's an option, but it gets more than that. That's using the record fields, and I can make it dependent on a whole lot. There are one or two things you can't do, but not many. But I can switch to the advanced version of this, and I can say I need to select. And now it's more like Processor Builder, where I can select from the record, or I can select from the user. So now I can say if the user is in the US, turn the component on. If the user is not in the United States, turn the component off. Or if the user is in San Francisco, turn a certain component on, and if they're not, turn it off. And so, or if they're in a certain department. You ever wanted to have department dependent page layouts? You can now. So components can show based on that. And then finally, you can do it based on permissions. And so we can query whether someone has a certain permission or not, which is very cool. So I want to dissuade you from immediately creating a bunch of record pages in Lightning because you have to maintain them. And instead, what I would encourage you to do is start looking at, let's see, how do I get out of this? I guess I have to, I was hoping I could press cancel. Maybe I cannot because I've messed with it too much here. All right, well, I'm going to have to select some things to get out of this. Love that when it happens. If the user name is me, contains Terry. All right, so I'm done now. So this would only show if I'm me. A wonderful thing to do is to show it only if it's an admin. Okay, so I've added this conditional. Now I'm going to remove it so that I haven't messed up my page layout. But I can have one page layout that responds to different things. I have in beta in our organization a page layout that's the contact, and it shows different amounts of information and different sections of information based on whether they're a client or a donor or a volunteer or just a newsletter reader. And so I have one page layout that I'm maintaining, but I'm presenting the information in all the different ways that people need. So anyway, that's enough about page layouts. I just found myself answering several questions today about that, and just wanted to do my best to explain it. Thanks very much. I would encourage you to check out my Salesforce blog, mightyforce.org. I don't claim it's the most beautiful blog in the world, but I do take the things that I answer frequently, like, and I used to blog about them, and I still do when I think it's the right way to do it. But I like to do videos, and so you will find dozens of videos now online, and this one will end up online eventually as well. So thanks for watching. Bye.